Modern Nollywood is trash. I mean, with a lot of effort being put into maximizing profits, the actors and producers of these mediocre movies, which almost every day gets uploaded to YouTube, is purely outrageous. These movies lack suspense, fiction, fantasy. I mean, the lists are endless. These are basic things that spice up a movie and gets the audience fully immersed into the movie. However, the audience with the first scene of any Nollywood movie have always mastered the craft of suspense and can predict what will happen at the end of any movie. Due to diversity and ethnicity that has brought Nollywood to be subdivided into various sections like Kollywood and Kannywood, there is no cooperation to actually bring Nollywood to the limelight it once was, when we had actors like Patience Ozokwo, Mr. Ibu, Jide Kosoko and Peter Odoche. Acting, one department in Nollywood that has remained consistently filled with tons of talent, are waiting the script to push them. The problem with acting in Nollywood begins with the executive producers and is also tied to the distributors. It's essentially a disastrous situation. Certain actors and internet stars are thrown in front of our faces repeatedly. Whether or not they are good for these roles seem to take a backseat to their bankability and brand recognition. Most of the times, Nollywood producers throw all the famous people they can afford into a 2-hour movie without taking into consideration if they are actually good for their roles or not. Provided that certain individuals love certain actors and can sometimes be biased when they see one of their favorite actors on any cast for any movie. Their love for these actors are capitalized upon, and profit making is being made the main aim of these actors and the entire production crew. Nollywood is a cultural phenomenon and no doubt one of the most enduring ones of the 21st century. Like other industries, through the decades, it has had to adapt to various societal shifts and technological advancements, continuously changing to survive, trying to push the needle of creativity forward. But this creativity hasn't gotten the industry anywhere. I mean, if you watch the classic old Nollywood with legendary actors like Mr. Ibu and the likes, you are in for a good watch. The passion, plot, setting and storyline was there to make everything immerse the viewer into the movie. With this modern Nollywood everything, the storyline just seems to be the same, with no single change being made to make each movie has its own distinctive element. All of this just falls on the fact that when it comes to filmmaking, every single person on the production crew doesn't like putting effort or taking time to actually make a good movie. The movie are always poorly edited, poorly written, inadequate sound and video effects, untrained makeup artists, the list goes on. As you're watching this video, I can guarantee you there's a Nollywood movie or 3 that has been uploaded in the last hour with tens of thousands of views on YouTube. Naija Nollywood was actually good when it was the classics, but now all we get is either one evil mother-in-law plotting to kill her husband, daughter, one poor guy who doesn't have money, so his wife would leave him and will later go on to become rich in the future. Nollywood doesn't have a problem, it has tons of them, tons and tons of it. Even its name is a problem. The producers and actors of these movies think they're actually making progress, churning out millions of movies with the same storyline every single day. You see, Naija with a population of over 400 million people is a huge market, so whatever quality of video is packaged by Nollywood, they will sell, they have customers. 99% of people in Nollywood are there for the cash, and that's their priority. You see, in the era of legendary actors, the main aim of the producers and actors in Nollywood weren't for fame or money as the case is now. The creation of Nollywood started in the 1960s. It was when the first Nollywood movies were created by historical filmmakers like Ola Balogun, Ubet Ogude, Jab Adu and Moses Olaiya. They are considered the first generation of Nigerian filmmakers. After Nigeria's independence in 1960, the cinema business expanded rapidly, with new cinemas houses being established. As a result, Nigerian films in theaters increased in the late 1960s into the 1970s, especially production from Western Nigeria. In the early 2000s, Nigeria established television channels dedicated exclusively to local cinemas in local languages such as African Magic. This act has enabled the population of Nigerians but also sub-Saharan Africa to become accustomed to Nigerian cinema and culture. Over time, this has expanded and several other channels have been created. This time, it's bilingual ambition. Today, some streaming platforms like Iroko TV have already been created to increase the development of the Nollywood industry. With giant corporations like Iroko TV and Ibraka TV, the main aim of the production crews of these new streaming platforms became obviously to maximize profits with repeated storylines and mediocre actors who lack passion for their roles. Take for example the remakes of popular classics involving 2 of the very known Aki and Popo, who have been used to create memes that are now all and over social media. The movie was actually created by this Charles Okpaleke's Play Network studio. The movie was a 2-hour plus of complete garbage. At this point, even modern Hollywood producers can't think of any new ideas that the audience would genuinely be interested in. They should stop mingling with the classics that everyone loved, because most times their remakes don't turn out well. This Nollywood movie was released in the year 2021 and was made available on Netflix. It's actually a sequel to the movie Aki and Ukwa, which was released in the year 2003. The actors remain the same, but the setting in the new film have changed, and the makers have also tried to modernize the story. In the sequel, we see Aki and Papa are relocated to a city called Lagos. They live with their uncle and aunt and lead a hustling life. The movie focuses on 4 characters: Aki, Popo, Bakshan, and Samantha. Bakshan is a social media influencer, and Samantha is his hardworking assistant. These 4 cross paths as the movie proceeds, which ignites the story and comedy. All these characters and other side characters have blended to fulfill the comedy elements in the film. Brotherhood, money, and fame are some things the film runs on. Aki and Popo become overnight social media stars, and we see them dealing with sudden fame and money. The movie has tried to show the power of social media and what it holds in today's world, and how toxic it can get at times. Throughout the film, we learn whether Aki and Popo will be able to hold on to brotherhood along with their fame and money. The movie has tried to portray a decent comedy piece, but has not tried enough to deliver something amazing. Aki and Ukwa was a hit during the year 2003, therefore there were a lot of expectations around the sequel. It is unfortunate to say that the sequel might not satisfy you with something praiseworthy. The film lacks a lot in the first as well as the second part. The dialogue seems to bend, that something that could be delivered very straightforwardly has been twisted and told just to increase the scene timing. The ending of the film was too predictable and does not meet expectations, despite being produced with better equipment, brilliant cinematography, and a top-notch soundtrack. Another classic that has been remade by this Play Network studio is the classic Living in Bondage. Living in Bondage is one movie that has been accredited to the birth of the Nigerian movie industry. The first 2 sequels, which has been done in Igbo language in 1992 and 1993 respectively, was widely watched both within and outside Nigeria despite the language barriers, and was subject to various debates, as it is usually attributed to the reason why many Nollywood movies that follow after it focus on spirituality, making money, and the Igbo culture. Nollywood movies have continued to teach valuable lessons over the years, and Netflix's latest original, Glamour Girls, is no exception. After watching the remake of the 1994 classic, it is safe to say that Play Network Studio should abandon the idea of remaking or rebooting 90s series or films. Glamour Girls, as the title suggests, is a film about a group of escorts and how they deal with their relationship and problems. Unlike other Netflix originals from the onset, the trailer looked like something a first-year film student would make. The film features some of the best visual elements to grace Nigeria television screen. The cinematography The film features some of the best visual elements to grace Nigeria television screens. The cinematography was excellent, with the locations and camera movement carefully chosen. There was an outstanding performance from the cast. Despite giving a lifeless script, the actors gave it their all to deliver an incredible performance. Listing the negative aspect of this film will require an hour-long video. To avoid using the word terrible, about 80% of this film is bad. The movie was downright filled with incoherent plot. Every scene seemed to make no sense for some strange but apparent reasons. This film leaves the viewers with unanswered questions. So many questions, so few to answer. Writing a script isn't easy, so props to the script writers for putting in the effort. The screenplay was nothing to write home about, as it was cliché, bland, and lacked the makings of a blockbuster. The dialogue between characters felt off and forced, making a large portion of the film difficult to watch. While some actors gave excellent performances, others were forgettable. This makes me question the casting directors and producers' decisions. The sound quality was the most problematic aspect of the movie for me. The audio was simply repulsive. It was almost as if every crew member had forgotten to pay close attention to the audio quality, giving the impression that they recorded the film with a phone. Play Network Studio is living a trial of remakes. It opened with Living in Bondage, then Rattlesnake, and now Ineka, the Pretty Serpent. A remake of Tade Oginda's Diamond Ring has also been announced. Remakes are gimmicks, a knowing thug as nostalgia with a clear eye for newer, younger audiences, a larger reach of and for material, a new cash cow for an old thing. When done well, the essence of the original material is maintained, even if more elements are added. A better narrative structure, a specific targeting of a newer demographic, and its continuance of a storytelling legend. A small problem, the remakes are beginning to look familiar, and although conspicuously, the essence of the original isn't wholly or properly transported into the remake. They are more about making an old movie for the modern audiences than remaking an old movie in a better way. In Ineka, the Pretty Serpent, Ineka has a vengeful evil spirit within her that is making her kill people. A simple enough tagline, yet there are careful questions left unanswered. At what point does she stop enjoying this act? When was she bad as herself, and when was she bad as the host of that spirit? What are the definitions of her powers, their limits, and why are those powers so inconsistent? What level of control does she have? Eventually, Even after redemption, what punishment does she deserve? This question, particularly the latter, would have been easily answered by the original. One recurring critic of a whole lot of Nollywood movies is that the storylines fail to add up somehow. This issue is further illustrated in the characterization, plot and dialogue. There is usually a sense of the story feeling incomplete, either because the promise of the premise is not delivered upon or the storyline is inauthentic and insincere, choosing to fall to tired tropes rather than aim for the specialty of the Nigerian condition. Given just how important screenwriting is to the production process, it is baffling that not much time is being invested in this aspect, especially by the major players. Not everyone who is involved in the movie making industry can automatically become a scriptwriter, and frankly not everyone should. The craft is frequently described as deceptively hard to master. Of course, a whole lot of Nollywood bigwigs know this. Their counter argument is that people need to eat and the industry needs to ensure that production time is as short as possible. For that reason, they cannot dedicate that much time to story development and writing, knowing that the audience will watch whatever they churn out anyways. Making movies that you see almost get uploaded to YouTube every day with mediocre and repeated storylines that will get thousands of views anyways. According to an anonymous Nollywood producer, the problem with story in particular and the quality of filmmaking overall starts from the top. From the producers, they usually use their favorite actor to mask their mediocrity. They believe that once the audience loves certain actors, they'll be very biased regardless of the story. Nollywood has been adjudged to be the third largest class of movie globally. Consequently, it constitutes a mass culture which should not be ignored. Nollywood today generates significant revenue in Nigeria. However, not every mass culture is good, as it may be an avenue for the elite to exploit the masses. As a symbol of our existence, Nollywood therefore has the power to create and destroy Nigeria's image at home and abroad. Thus, despite the critical views about the movies produces, the different critical views about Nollywood can be harnessed towards improving the status of the industry as an art rather than a money-making machine. While there is no doubt that Nollywood is a big industry which has attracted a lot of attention in the last 10 years, it is still unclear why this is the case outside the country. In Nigeria, Nollywood is popular because it speaks to aspects of social life that many people belong to. It speaks to and debates social and cultural anxiety the way no other media has done before. It gestures to political discourse in a very surreptitious manner. It invests in the individual living in the city with a new sense of person. But outside the country, Nollywood is a mere curiosity. This shows that the quality of Nollywood is below international standard in terms of quality, and this quality that is supposed to be improved upon by realistically making a good story that the audience will be genuinely interested in is only being degraded more and more by this trend of casting Instagram influencers, skit makers and comedians along Big Brother Naija X Housemates with a sprinkle of actual actors. Trained actors are losing opportunities due to this trend. Some have been forced to attempt to become Instagram influencers and use their clout to secure a place in Hollywood. But this route is problematic in itself. They end up creating an identity which they only carry into the movie they are casting, making such movie total trash. However, there are certain movies having comedians and major actors that have done well, but this trend is seen as a cash cow for the executive producers of these mediocre movies to back upon. In this age of social media that everyone is constantly glued to their phone and Instagram has become the order of the day, seeing your favorite influencer or comedian and hour or 2-hour long movie will certainly make you to watch. Take Brother Shaggy for instance, who is almost always cast as a loud, unruly character in every Nollywood film he's featured in. It's hard to believe Brother Shaggy has had actual acting and drama training due to the stereotype he represents. Fans have asked for actual actors to be given opportunities to flourish in Nollywood, for the audition culture to be brought back, where talents are given the opportunity to show what they are made of. But of course, using Instagram influencers is a much faster and cheaper option than paying to have billboards, ad reads on radio station, television station, and every media house in the country to help promote their movie. Giving roles in movies to skit makers and comedians is a cheaper option, as they will be obliged to promote the movie to their followers with or without being paid for it. However, this strategy by Nollywood isn't going to last for long. Churning out movies with Instagram influencers, Big Brother Naija X Housemates and skit makers will just make the Oscar dreams of Charles Okwaleke, Play Network Studio and many other filmmakers barely come true. The Nigerian film industry is controlled by the market, unlike the film industries in other countries such as the US and India, where professionalism is respected and the government provides an environment in which the industry can flourish in. The Nigerian government has shown little interest in the development and improvement of Nollywood. Without much needed funding from the government and private businesses, producers had to rely on marketers for the funding of film projects. thus empowering many marketers dictate to producers and contribute to the production decisions. The practice of marketers influencing casting and story is now rampant in the industry. Primarily, the production of films in Nigeria is driven mainly by the goal of marketers to recover their investment, and little consideration is given to the thematic or structural quality of the product. This accounts for the indifferent, mediocre, poor or uneven film we have in circulation today. However, not all Nigerian films are of poor quality. Although many films are thoughtfully not constructed or are haphazardly produced, a few with good storylines, impressive character development, and sophisticated film techniques that enhance their quality are also available. But majority of these films are of course the classic old Nollywood, and that's why you see people like Charles trying to recreate these stories and earn an Oscar for it. Thanks for watching this video to the very end and listening to me rant about the current state of Nollywood. I mean, it's purely outrageous how mediocre movies are being uploaded to YouTube every single hour with tens of thousands of views. If you want to see more documentaries like this one, you should probably get subscribed to the channel. Get subscribed. I don't know how many times I'm going to say that. Please get subscribed so I keep making these videos. Bye.